Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Put a Ring on the Season 2, Episode 4. I did not review last week's episode. I was going to drop this show, but some people said I should review it when I put a post up on my YouTube. So we're going to see how many folks actually watch this review to determine if I'm going to review it next week. But y'all know first things first, if you have not done so already, make sure to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, and all that goodness and stuff. Y'all know, like the video, okay, comment in the comment section, hit the share button, share on your social media. Y'all know, relax, relate, release. Center yourself and everyone around you. Y'all know, inhale, exhale, okay, because it helps you to stay calm, cool, and collected and whatnot. Follow me on social media at J_Lees_Corner on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Twitter and IG. Y'all know, like and subscribe. Tomorrow we'll be having a live interview with Kimmy from Love and Married Huntsville. That will be on my channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Ooh Ladies First panel or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Me, Bonnie, Niecy, Jamie will be together as always, having fun with Kimmy. Okay, so we hope to see y'all there again tomorrow. My channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, back to this review of the foolishness and stuff. Okay, so I'm here. Let's kind of recap a little bit of last week. I'm saying so last week everyone was on their dates or whatever, and I was like, what happened? So with Jessica, bam, up here. Jessica, she did want a second date with the dude who she was out with or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. But Eric did not want a second date with his person because, as he said, I was not attracted to her. Because last week they all went on dates at the same time at the same location. Okay. And you could tell that Jessica was more focused on Eric than Eric was focused on her, but because he probably used to not paying her that much attention. So it was weird, but whatever. Now on their ride home from the little meeting or whatever with Dr. Nicole, she brings up how some people are too jealous to let their mate go on dates, okay? But she also brings up how she liked that Eric seems a bit jealous that she chose to go on a second date with her dude. And her thing was that the first day, because he was still there, I want a second date because I like him a little bit. Okay, I'm like, whatever. Now, Eric says how he does not like that she wants a second date. You know what I'm saying? He is a bit jealous or whatever, but you feel like she's trying to rub it in his face. I'm like, well, she probably is, but I feel like you deserve it, so whatever. Now we get to Darian and Alexia up here. Darian has already went on a second date with Kai, okay? And I'm like, oh, she gonna just be around here, whatever. And so he wants another date with Kai. I was like, he trying to date her. Okay. Now, Alexi did not want a second date with her dude. And she said because she was not attracted to him. I feel like she was so focused on Kai and Darian over there who were talking about her. And she kept hearing her name being brought up. She kept being focused on him. Her date kept saying, like, let's, like me and you. Like, let's meet you. I feel like because she was so concerned about, Darian and old girl, she didn't allow herself to even like the dude she was with. I'm not saying she wasn't really attracted to him, but I feel like you were too focused on your boyfriend and not your date. But it was what it was. Now she's like she had an issue because she saw Darian and Kai holding hands leave in the restaurant. Now what I did not like was he tried to lie and say, well, no, it wasn't me holding her hand. It was her holding mine. I was showing you it was her holding me. I'm looking like, no, because since day one, Darian and Kai have been holding hands. Okay, I'm like, when she watched the season back, she gonna see you was a plum ass liar. A plum ass liar because again, y'all walked in holding hands. She just didn't see it yet. So I'm looking like you ain't shit because you lying already. Anyway, oh, lying ass. We then get to Sean, okay, and LaRonda or whatever. Now Sean decided to get a second date with his lady, but he's an asshole. Okay, his toxic jealousy is seeping out his pores little by little, and I felt like at first I'm like, why are they here? Like, they seem so happy. I don't get why they're here. I not see it. He jealous. He's a jealous person, and he may be a bit controlling, or he tried to control her or whatever, but I don't like it. I had a call, y'all. LaRonda, sorry about that. LaRonda does want a second date with her dude because she feel like her first date wasn't fair because Sean was there eyeballing the whole time what was going on. She wants the whole second date to not have any weird feelings. She can see if she likes him or not. I'm like, I'm cool with any of them picking second dates just to be with the person when they mate not around. So I'm like, fine, fine, fine. So like Nicole do tell them how um with Sean and LaRonda, they both have nonverbal reactions that show they both have a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, trying to make the other one feel some kind of way. And I'm like, I see that. I can see that or whatever. So this week, Eric up here, and then Alexia won't have dates. They're going to work on their communication skills, how they, talk and communicate within their relationships. And I was like, that's fine, fine, fine. Okay, boom, pow, pow. Now we see Darian and Alexia at home talking. Honey, this shit, I was like, girl, y'all should break up. I don't like it. So he tells her that she needs to be more intimate with him. Okay, we don't have enough intimacy. We don't have enough sex. So, but we used to be on the popping all the time. And I know after 14 years, it may not be hot and heavy. It may not be hot and heavy, but I need us to be sexually hot and heavy. He says sex is very, 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 very important in a relationship. And it is. It is. But he seemed like he don't deserve for that to be a top priority. Okay, he seemed like he may cheat if he don't get it or whatever. And he brings up how sometimes they have a condo, and the condo he be there whatever, spending time working on music or whatever with his friends or whatnot or whatever. And so even sometimes when they get beefed out, he goes to the condo. Now Alexi feels like I feel like he out here doing fuck shit. Okay, I feel like he out here probably cheating or just doing something that he wouldn't do in my presence. Okay. And so when I feel in my spirit that he out there doing fuck shit, I'm not giving him sex. So that's the reason why our sex life is not as high. I don't trust him right now or whatever. She also brings up sometimes he don't reply to her or answer calls like in a timely manner. Okay. He like, well, you don't trust me. I'm like, I don't think she should. Okay. It hurts me that you don't trust me. I'm looking like, but if you're doing things that are untrustworthy, that's why she don't trust you or whatever. And then he brings up how she has male friends that I don't like. Okay, and I think it's some of that or whatever. Her male friends sometimes send her heart emoji, not heart, like heart eye emojis or whatever in text. I'm looking like, I mean, male friends should not send heart emojis. No, I can agree with that. But it's like, what's the context of the heart emoji? Like, what's going on? What's being said or whatever? And she brings up, well, no, my friend, they just support me. They're supportive or whatever, and he's just my friend. And I'm like, Lord Jesus Christ. So his thing is there's love here with us, like we love each other, but there's no peace in this house. I'm looking like, but y'all both seem like y'all ain't peaceful or whatever. I was like, girl, bye. Anyway, so we're gonna leave that be. But they just not getting along right now. And they fussing. Now we see Darian going to the third day with Kai. Kai has a confessional. Y'all know, like last season, the person only gets a confessional if they're gonna be in more than like 1 or 2 episodes. So I'm like, oh, she's gonna be around for a minute. Okay. Anyway, so he said he needs some female energy to soothe him because he's been beefing and arguing so much. But I'm looking like you have female energy at home. Okay? At home. And I was like, he ain't shit. Now, Kai said, I feel like he wants me. I can feel that he wants me. And I like it. Okay? Now, if I wanted him, I could have him. See, Kai will get kicked in her throat in real life. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, that's the lady. At the end of the day, that's the lady man. Yes, you dating him, but that's somebody else's man. Don't say I could have him if I wanted him. I'm like, girl, but it is weird to me to say these kind of things so early on. Okay, I'm like, y'all just on the third date. What's his last name? What's his sign? What's his birthday? What's his draw sign? What size shoe he wear? If you don't know all of that, you can't say I could have him if I wanted to. And if you can say that, it's real superficial, but I'm gonna leave that be. Okay. Now on the last date, he brought up how, Alexi had an issue with this situation or whatever. And she said, oh, why is she jealous? He said, no. You know what I'm saying? She just know you my type. Okay. And because she know you my type, she don't like the situation of it all. And I'm like, Lord Jesus. She then asked, well, if Kai then asked if Alexia was to ask you or tell you to not date me anymore, would you stop dating me? He said, no, no. I'm like, see, to me, he is here because he wanted to be able to date somebody else and not get in trouble. Because no. And I'm not saying that he should make any decision based on how Alexia feel. But at the same time, to answer so quickly and say no, to me means you putting your own needs before your relationship. And I'm like, it should be about figuring out if you really don't want the relationship and if you really want to move on. And if you do, then leave Alexia alone. But don't make it seem as if, no, I'm gonna date Kai. But then go home to Alexia and make her feel like she has to still want to be with you. I don't like it at all. They chit chat a little bit and whatnot. And, she brings about she trying to open a business or whatever. I ain't really care. But he said he loved the way that she is passionate about her children because that's how he is too. I was like, oh really? Whatever. Okay. We then see Sean on his date with Brittany. Now this is his second date with Brittany. So this is who we did one day with last time. Because I didn't do that episode. And hold on, y'all. Look off. But back to who is it? Sean and Brittany. So again, this is who we went on a date with last week. And she's a singer. So she had him meet her at the studio. And she was singing. Oh, she's a singer. A singer. I said, but she's smart. Okay. She knew, let me get myself on television and have myself singing so I don't make not another episode. Okay. They heard me sing and they know I sing. Okay. I got to show off what I can do. Okay. So she also had a confessional. And I was like, oh, okay. Confessional. I'm like, is everybody getting confessed? I'm like, well, okay, maybe everybody getting one in season 2. Cause I'm looking like I'm just surprised. Anyway, they sit and talk or whatever. Sean is put on his real good, I'm a good guy, I'm a funny guy, I'm a nice guy to be around persona. Because the way he is when on last episode, when he was sitting with Lauren on her date, the vibes, the jealousy vibes coming off his skin, his pores. I'm like, he's toxic. He has toxic ways because nobody should feel that strongly to be able to be that kind of just possessive over someone. So I'm like, he seems all nice and yeah, ha 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 ha. Yeah, we both work in the same, business of entertainment. So you get me. Yeah, I'm like, see, no, this is his representative. Don't like it or whatever. But anyway, they have a good time or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He like, I just don't, something ain't sitting right in my spirit about Shine. And Shine is a shoe dog too. Anyway, so it wasn't much with them, whatever. Sit, chit, chat. She wrote a song, and the song she sang. It's kind of like how our situation. I mean, like y'all don't have one. You just met this man, but I'm gonna leave that be too. So we then get to Jessica her date with Clarence, and this is also what she went on date with last time. So this is their second date. This is her new confessional. Look, fine, fine, fine. Now he did not get a confessional. So so everyone does not get one. I know what that means. So they went to the gym and worked out, and When he took his shirt off, he had a tattoo of some girl's name or whatever. So it turns out it's his ex-wife. He brings up how he got married really early. He was like 23, and they grew into different people. Now he brings up how it was some cheating. He doesn't say who cheated, but somebody cheated. He also brought up how because he traveled so much for workout competitions, you know what I'm saying, when he would come home, he would not want to go out a lot. So I'm like, you mean that because you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't end up that much. Your wife didn't like the fact that you did not want to take her out. I don't know, but it's like he left stuff out. So I was confused. I'm gonna leave that be. Anyway, he do ask her like, why are you and Eric not married? And she said, well, because I'm ready, but he isn't ready and whatnot. I'm saying, so I'm just trying to wait team to see where that will go. He said, I don't communicate enough. I'm like, but I do feel like she sits and she looks pretty and she does not talk as much. But I do think she was trying to talk to him a little bit or whatever. But when he is asked her questions about her and Eric, well, no, let's just leave that alone. And then they leave. Something like, do you not want to talk at all, or do you not want to talk about you and Eric? I don't know. The date to me was weird because she definitely likes him because he's attractive. He has a nice body. His voice does not match his stature. I'm like, that's your voice? But I mean, I guess it's fine. So again, that's what it was. But she's like, he just asked me questions about my relationship. And we then see Alexia, Darian, and Nicole have a whole conversation because they've been fussing and fighting and fussing and fighting. Mainly because they both should not be together. So he says she accuses me of doing things that she had not seen with her own eyes. She said, well, no, he paints a picture that he's doing things which makes me feel like he is. I'm like, you know what? I feel like they both express themselves very well because I'm like, okay, I see what they both mean. And she brings up how, okay, for example, like he would sometimes go out of town when I tell me, he would just he would call me or text me when he's already gone. At one point he went out of town and like he didn't reply back or he didn't talk to her when she was like calling or texting him or whatever, and he just kind of never explained it. So or he'll say, well, I'm on my way home. It's 2 a.m. I'm finna come home. You want something from the store? And she'll say, well, yes or no. But he won't show up for like 4, 5, 8, 9 hours. I'm looking like, where the fuck he be? So her point is, there's these blind spots of space that I have no idea what he doing, who he with, or what's going on. And it's when he's supposed to be with me, but he's just gone. I don't know what's going on. And so I was like, she making a great point, and he making it seem like she crazy. I'm looking like, no, you can't do that. You can't. It's dumb ditty or whatever. You lied. You are lying because I don't always do that. You don't have to always do something for her to point out that you did something. You up here, you lie too much. This process won't work because you lied to you not being real. I'm like, she's telling you how she feels. So how is that not being real? You did these things. You may not just do them all the time, but I'm going to leave that be. And Dr. Pope was like, I sat down and y'all just started fighting. Like, it's like y'all already was in this mode. So, like, what started all of this? He say she wants to get married. She wants to get married. She wants kids, whatever. And I don't want to do that on her time. At least the marriage part. I don't want to marry her based on when she wants us to get married. She made a great point. My friends getting married, my friends having kids. I am 34 years old. I have no kids, but he has 3 children. Okay, he has had 3 kids with 2 women over the past 14 years of us being together, and I do not want to be like them. And I was like, but you are them. You just haven't accepted it yet. Because if he's had relationships with these women and he had kids with these women, but he did not marry these women, you are the same as them, except he is not giving you a child. But you are them. You are still somebody he was in a relationship with that he gave himself to. Okay, but he won't give you the ring. It's the same thing. You just happen to not have children. Okay, and she was like, when I start bringing kids up, it's like he blows up to stop that conversation. and that's her issue, whatever. And I'm like, but again, you are just like the mother of his children. He still will not give you the family that you want. Period. Because it's been 14 years, honey. 14. So I mean, you know, and when he then said his issue, like sometimes they be talking or whatever, and she keeps barking back at him. And Dr. Cole said, well, that means you bark first. So you can't, bark at her, but then not want her to bark back. I'm like, you're not around these parts. Not on my watch, okay? And the fact that he then said, I'll give her a kid. Like, we can have kids, it's fine, but I just don't want to, get married on top of these issues that we have that we need to fix. I'm like, oh, so you'll get her pregnant and give her kids because she wants kids, but you won't marry her or try to fix these issues sooner to give her the family that y'all both should want. I'm like, that's that toxic shit, and you being foolish. Leave this man. You deserve better. 14 years, and he has had 3 kids on you within that time frame, and he is not giving you any children or a ring because y'all not even engaged, girl. Alexia, you see what you need to do. Follow the delivery bro out the house. Let's go ahead and leave. I'm like, mm, mm. Now we see LaRonda on her second date with Sir James. He's cuter than this. I just could not get a better photo without them like moving in hands and all that stuff or whatever. He's cuter than this in person. But they had their second date. They went bowling. And they had a good time. Okay, had a good time. Was vibing. Okay, talking to each other. It was a good time to me. Okay. Now she asked him about if he put his hand on her back on their first date from last week. Because again, Sean brought up at the little thing or whatever how he seen when they were leaving, Sir James put his hand like right at the small of her back. But she said, I didn't notice it. I didn't know. Like, I didn't feel him touch me. And so she's asking him, like, did he do that? He's like, well, yeah, I put my hand like I put my hand like right here. Like, yeah, I did because in case you like tripped or something. And I'm like, some men do that. When you walk in and you're walking ahead of them out the door, they do have their hand like, he did it with me. So I'm like, I completely get it. So to me, it wasn't a big deal, but he like, I did, but it wasn't a big issue. He said, but how did that even come up? Oh, we know, dude, my dude brought it up. He's like, oh, okay, whatever. She also brings up how Sean is very insecure. Okay. He always asks, like, what you doing? Where you going? Who you with? Who you talking to? Who you text? So he's insecure in a way to where he's consistently feeling like she cheating on him or like he just has to know what she's doing. Again, he's controlling to me. He's toxic to me. He is jealous and he is insecure. And that's seeping out little by little as the episodes go on. And I don't like it. And what I liked was Sir James said, that's what you do with children. Like, you follow up behind kids, not your person. So that's some bullshit. Now she said she liked him. Okay, his confidence, whatever, he's cute. But again, they had a great vibe. So I liked it, okay? Anyway, we then see all the couples meet up to talk to Dr. Nicole. Okay, now with Alexia and Darian, who's up top, they bring up that after talking to Dr. Nicole, they both talked, they both calmed down, they were both able to talk things out, hear each other, speak their piece or whatever, and be in a better place. And they bring up the whole thing of her saying how he was gone for all through our weekend, and she did not know what went on. He supposedly showed her like photos of his phone or whatever what he was doing, and that he really just fell asleep. And I'm like, okay, if you like it, I love it. Dr. Cole gave a great speech. Okay, if you give somebody a blank canvas, they can paint whatever picture that comes in their head because you have not gave them the picture of what you want painted. So if you give somebody a blank canvas of what you did, you don't say what you did, if you don't tell them any details on what actually happened, they come up with a whole narrative because, again, this is blank canvas. You have to communicate so no one can paint a picture of what you did that didn't happen. And I'm like, yes. Don't do it. Okay. Anyway, when he brings up about her male friendship that he does not like, she also brought up, Dr. Cole said, look, if there are people, places, and things that are causing separation in your relationship, you have to handle it accordingly. You cannot keep letting it be, the issue in the bond. I'm looking like that's true too. I love it. With Erica and Jessica. I mean Eric, not Erica. Eric and Jessica. He said how their issue is they don't really resolve issues between them. They kind of just they don't sit down. They don't discuss. Like it'll happen. They probably will have sex and just move on. And that's what he is. He also brings up how he doesn't like putting his issues or his problems on other people because he feel like other people don't even want to hear other people's problems. He said that includes Jessica. I don't think she wants to hear other folks' problems, even my own. And she's like, "What? I can't believe that." But I give you advice all the time, and I say what you should do. This fool then said, "Yeah, you do, but you tell me things that I've already thought of, or that I've already done." So what you say is kind of like it's he said it's useless. Just so what I say has no value. He's like this, it's just like I'm like I was like, what the fuck, Eric? What the entire fuck? I'm like, I said, oh, you was a fuck boy for that. To tell someone what you tell me don't matter because I've already thought of that. I'm like, it was a better way for him to say, I wish you would dig deeper in your thought process when I talk to you about what I should do and not suggest something that's so simple. You know what I'm saying? Maybe help me think outside the box. I would have been okay with that, but I'm like to tell her that her point is useless because I'm like, oh, he ain't shit. Now I can call like, you have to allow her to be necessary because you can't make it seem like you don't need to talk to her because you don't feel like she matters in that aspect or whatever. I was like, mm, mm. That was shocking. I was like, oh, that was crazy. Um, crazy. So they do ask about her date with Clint because he didn't have no date. It was a fun date. I had fun, but I'm not going to have a third one because he was not excited enough for me. I get what she meant. She like bad boys, and I do feel like Clarence was like, he don't chill out. It was when Clarence told her he don't like fussing and arguing. When he said that turned her off. She wants someone to fight with, and him saying, "I'm not gonna fight with you. I'm gonna let you speak your piece. I'll speak my piece, and we can talk it out. But I'm not gonna fuss and argue." When he said that, that's what made her feel like he isn't exciting enough because she's a feisty one who wants to fight. Okay, anyway, with LaShawn and Ron down here. Um, the date with Sir James was great. You know what I'm saying? He was attractive. He had great energy, but he doesn't communicate too well. So I don't want. I'm like, no. But she does not want another date with Sir James or whatever. Now, Sean was happy about that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 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 or whatever. And then Sean said he liked the date with Brittany. Okay. But he then said, but I know that's not a situation that I need to get involved in. And I'm like, oh, meaning he wants to fuck her and he don't want to, get too heavily down that road and make fuck her. And so he then say, but but he wants a third day. He said, I want to play with fire. I want to go in the lion's den, so I want a third date with Brittany. And I'm looking like, ooh, that's not good. Mainly because he said, I feel like me and LeBron's bond is strong enough to handle this, and this way I can text me. I feel like someone who's so jealous and so possessive over over LaRonda dating, saying he wants to play with fire. Had she said that, he would have been pissed. So it pissed me off that he worded it that way, as if he don't be on fuck she when she girl. I'm like, I don't like Shine. He gets on my nerve, okay? So they then get to Darion and his date with Kai. That was his third date with Kai. And he like, it was a great date, you know what I'm saying? And he said, had I met Kai before I met Alexia, I would definitely be dating her for sure, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. Which pisses Alexia off. I can't, like, how can you say that after a couple days? He don't even really know her. Well, men are simple, okay? And I feel like she know what kind of man he is. I don't get why she's staying. I don't get why she with him to this day. Okay, to this day. Not like today, but I mean like as the show date or whatever. So he said he does want a fourth date with her. And I was like, he said, I also want to play in the hot water. I also want to get in the lion's den. And then that pisses Alexia off. She's like, you want to know how I feel about that? You want to know? Eric, can we feet? And she got up and then walked out. I'm like, oh, the walk out. And then he follows her and said, why you acting like that? Like, why do you have a problem with her? I'm just like, her problem ain't with Kai. Her problem is with you. But I'm going to let that be. And that was the whole episode, y'all. That was the whole little episode. Okay, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on social media. The link to my social media, the social media is also below. But I gotta go, y'all. I had a good little time. I will see y'all tomorrow for Love and Marriage Huntsville and all that stuff. And peace out.